Thank you for giving me an opportunity to work in appropriations. But I'm afraid we went about it the wrong way. In this process, we cut, and then we prioritized, when we should have first prioritized before cutting what we value least. Let me explain. Before we prioritize, those in control of the legislature cut the option of using a single dime of the rainy day fund for 2012 and 2013. Before we were allowed to prioritize, they cut the option of making big corporations pay their fair share of taxes. By eliminating tax loopholes we can no longer afford. We should have placed all these options on the table. We should have evaluated every expenditure, whether it is in our budget or our tax code, because an expenditure is an expenditure. And then we should have prioritized. But because we did not, this Republican budget fails to reflect the people's priorities of protecting the quality of education and keeping nursing homes open. Because we did not first prioritize, the budget cut state support for public education by 21%. To put a face on it, I think of my own children. And for me, they are a reflection of children that I know who are all across the state, not just in our big cities, but in our small rural towns and in our suburbs. I see them developing a love of art and music. I see them playing with science. I see them developing a passion for math and history and literature and so many other subjects. This budget harms my children and all of our children. This budget harms their dreams and their future. It harms their parents' dreams for them. It harms our state's efforts to grow an educated workforce, to compete in a global economy. You know, we are a state that only has 24% of its people with a college education. This is below the national average, and it is declining. This budget harms our ability to reverse that trend. Because we did not first prioritize, the budget cuts state support for higher education by 21%, and it cuts new Texas grants by 100%. There are high school students in my district and in yours who have done everything that we told them to do. They've taken the more rigorous courses. They've studied hard. They've made the grades. And they understood, because we told them so, that if they held up their end of the bargain, we would be there for them with financial aid. Because we did not first prioritize, we are now breaking that promise. We're shutting the door on their pursuit for higher education, a well-paying job, and a better life. Because we did not first prioritize, the budget cuts nursing homes by 33%. From San Antonio to Nacogdoches to Corpus Christi, all across this state, our moms, our grandmothers, they're going to be harmed. They've raised their families, they've worked hard. All they asked was that their final years be lived with a measure of dignity and comfort. This budget rips that from them. This budget closes thousands of nursing homes, leaving our elderly Texans in the street. Because we did not first prioritize, the budget does not use a single dime of the rainy day fund. I've heard people stand up over the last few days and say they care about our children, our vulnerable Texans, children with mental health needs, children with autism. But in Their actions, because we did not first prioritize a vote for this budget, says hoarding the rainy day fund is more important than these children and vulnerable Texans. Because we did not first prioritize, this bill is not based on closing a single tax loophole. If you vote for this budget, you're voting to value tax loopholes for big corporations over the quality of education for our children and over keeping nursing homes open. Because we did not first prioritize, the budget diverts billions of dollars. Texans want us to be honest with them. They want a transparent and accountable budget process. But this budget takes fees paid by Texans, tells them they are going to a worthy cause like helping poor seniors pay their electricity bill or helping aspiring CPAs take their 5th year of accounting, and then it hides the money someplace else. Because we did not first prioritize, we have been boxed into false choices between valuing seniors over children or women's health over children's health. I've read in the clips statements by some colleagues who say, we want to know where Democrats stand. Well, let me tell you very clearly where we stand. We value the quality education found in our schools. We value keeping nursing homes open. We want big corporations to pay their fair share of taxes. We want a balanced budget that uses some, not all, but some of the rainy day fund so that we can deliver a budget that really represents the morals of our state. Mr. Speaker, please show me voting no on this budget because it fails on all counts.